Awesome. So welcome everyone to our joint health and balance class. So this is week number 9 already. No, week number 7. Sorry, 8-week term. On week number 7, next week is our last week of our spring term. Then we have a week off. So if you're in this class, if you're enrolled in this class, I don't think anyone requested not to be rolled over. So if you're in this class, you should automatically be added into the summer Wednesday and Saturday morning class. So the Wednesday class should be just stretching, no balance component. And then the Saturday class will be kind of like how it is right now, but we'll incorporate a little bit of foam rolling towards the end of class. I was actually doing some of that last night because my calf was a little bit tight. But yeah, so any questions regarding the summer? Okay, so Memorial Day, right? I think that's the holiday at the end of May. So we start the Tuesday right after. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with our stand-up stretches. I do want to work through balance exercises first. So we'll go with stand-up, then chair, then floor. Okay, so let's go ahead and just left to right, right here. Good morning, Kathleen. Hopefully everyone's doing well.
Good morning.
Good morning. Up and down. Morning, Mr. Ahmed. Your neck circles. I think I'm gonna be by your neighborhood again this weekend, Kathleen. We have our regional championships at Saddleback College this Saturday. So I have one of my guys and one of my ladies running the 5K that evening. Which
At what time?
I believe Jen runs at 5 and Ricky runs at 5:35. So yeah, so later in the evening. All right, let's do our snow angels. Yeah, they did the 10K last week. Ricky ran just shy of 33 minutes. And then Jen ran 41 minutes for the 10K. So pretty good. Good stuff. Okay. And then we'll incorporate some back and forth stretches and balance exercises. So slow high knee march. So just bring that knee up slowly. Or okay, and then now we're gonna just transition to high knees hip openers. So standing hip openers. So knee up and then out and down. And we'll work on the same leg. 6 repetitions. So up, out. One. Then we'll switch. I've been trying to train Julian to start sleeping on his own little bed because he always comes and jumps in on mine. Um, yeah, so I go and lay down with him in his bed, and he just pushes me. He's about a third of my size, but he'll push me to like the last 10% of the right side of the bed. So I've been sleeping or waking up with a sore neck or upper back. So let's go ahead and do our quad stretch. A lot of balance, slow balance stuff going on right now. Um, yeah, so 2 nights in a row. So I think we're making progress. Getting better with the potty training. Switch.
That's gonna help.
Yeah, so but not the pottying during the nighttime. That's I think we're we're still quite a ways from that. But at least during the day, he communicates more. So um yeah, so he's usually in his little underwear throughout the day, but when we're at home, I think he just gets comfortable. Um, so we just stay on him. We question him all the time, seeing if he needs to go or not. And then I think we annoy him because then he starts screaming back at us that he doesn't need to go potty. So let's go ahead and high knee grab. So grab right below the knee and bring that knee up and just hold. If you need to hold on to something or lean on to a wall, you can. You might feel this by your glute, the stretch. And while we're here, you could flex and dorsiflex your foot. So you could see, bring your toes up and down. And switch. Yeah, so about 90% of my team's season has concluded. So so yeah, so now we're just kind of making sure their grades are on point. They can't practice or run unless I'm aiming for straight A's or at least nothing less than a B. So that's what we're doing right now. Okay, so we're here. So let's just get a little break from the balance work to stretch that arm. So yeah, so today we have a meeting and then we have study hall for about an hour. And then after that, I guess we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo because my sophomores that are done with eligibility and won't be competing for me any longer want to go and grab tacos after study hall today. So celebrating Cinco de Mayo a little bit later today. Switch. Not sure if we're gonna go get TJ style carne asada tacos or if we're gonna go for Baja style fish tacos. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna have to run a lot tomorrow. Burn them off. All right, let's push up towards the ceiling. Feel that on the upper back between your shoulders. Lean right. Go left. All right, we're gonna walk the tightrope. So find a nice straightaway, long hallway in your area. So just one foot in front of the other. Pretty easy for this one. Just walk that tightrope. And then reverse. All right, and then now on your toes. And then reverse. Toes. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and do our standing adductions. So we're here, toes are pointing the camera, and I'm gonna swing my leg to the right side. And the whole time, my toes are still pointing at the camera. So you don't want your toes to rotate and point towards the right. They should be pointing forward. And your torso should be as upright as possible. Switch. Very good. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and do our ankle sweep. So this is more of a stretch for your hamstrings. Again, so you take little steps, straighten out that front leg, and just sweep your arms. So just tiny steps, alternate legs, leg is straight, and then just sweep. Very good. Okay. We got our left side, right side. Let's go ahead and just transition to trunk rotation. Gentle. Left to right. So ab circles. About two more on each side. Big hip circles, big hula hoops. Just exaggerate the motion here. Which directions? All right, let's go ahead and do our hamstring stretch. We'll do those before we start with our single leg RDL. So for the hamstring stretch, let's just start off with the easier one. So slide your hands down your shins, slight bend at the knees. Reach as far down as you can. If you're feeling dizzy or rush to your head, then just relax and come upright. grab your ankles and just bring your hips down. Up. Very good. All right, find me a dumbbell. So go ahead and grab one of your dumbbells. We're gonna be doing our Romanian deadlifts. So a little bit of strength work. Grab that dumbbell. I'll give you another 30 seconds. Yeah. So we're gonna do our single leg Romanian deadlifts right here. Remember this one on one leg, could go ahead and just do down and up. Or if you want to challenge yourself with some balance work, what we're gonna do is on your way down on your right hand, and then at the bottom switch and come up. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do 8 on each leg. Let's go with the right leg first. So again, and if that's challenging, you could always put your back foot on your toes, and that's gonna add some support. Ready, begin. So slowly down, switch, and then up. So that's one. Whoop, and there we go. Two. So yeah, so if your balance is a little off, then you might want to do this next to some support item. Four. I'm doing 8 of these. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Awesome. So just shake that off for your calves heading up. If you're ready, switch sides and begin. Switch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. Lift that off to the side. All right, let's go and just do a deep squat. So just come down, deep squat, drop your hips as low as you can. Torso upright, shoulders up. You can separate your knees with your elbows if you like. Left to right. Very good. We're gonna go ahead and do our round the clock single leg squat. Okay. So just we're here. We're gonna work on that elevated front leg or right leg first. Elevate that right leg, and then we're gonna go 12 o'clock. 1, 2, whoa, 3, 4. So you see my right leg is rotating around the dial. 7, 8. Here's the curtsy lunge. Oh, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And so shake the leg off. That left leg will come a little tired. Just stretch a little bit. Okay, we're gonna do our left leg now. Ready? So right leg is flat, and then 12 counterclockwise, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, come over, 2, 1, and time. Good. All right, grab some water, take a little break. Grab some water. Do you have any more standing? Did these? Okay, I think we're done with our standing. Oh, let's just do some standing calf raises or heel to toe rocks. We're just here and we're just gonna rock heels to toes. And then we're gonna transition to our chair. And yeah, we'll go from there and onto the floor. Very good. All right. Grab our chair. Then go ahead. Right here, sit on that left hand. Bring that right hand over. Stretch. Switch. Right hand. Right here. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and do our Arnold press motion over here. Press. Very good. Let's go ahead and grab with both our hands the top rear part of our head and gently elbows come down. Good. We're gonna do a little bit of eccentric work. So we're gonna turn our head to the right and we're gonna try to push over a little bit more on that side on our left cheek. Okay, so you're turning to your right, you can't really move anymore, but with your left hand, you're gonna push a little more gently, don't want to cause any pain. Turn left, and again push. Okay. Working on some upper back stuff soon. Here. So shoulders up, forward, down, back. So we reverse. Good. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. We're still here. Elbow up and drop it. Oh, I did forget the shoulder stretches while we were standing, so we'll get to those after. Okay, just a little bit of shoulder rotation here. Switch here. Keep going. We're gonna do our six-way shoulder complex. This is where we go here, here, up, down, repeat. Okay, so lateral, raise to medial, back up, down, extend, down. Okay, we're gonna do 6 of these. 3 more. Two more. Last one. Ooh, that tires out the elbows, the shoulders a little bit. Right, working on our biceps, the opposite shoulder tap. So we're just gonna go tap that opposite shoulder. Your elbows don't leave your side. And now press it, push down. Palms are facing the camera here, and then we press down. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start transitioning down to our forearms. So for this one, just you could rest your forearm, your wrist passes your knee. So your arms are naturally just gonna collapse. So you're gonna try to push forward and push down with the other hand. You're gonna feel tension on your forearm. Okay, so press for about 3 seconds and then just relax. So we'll do 5 to 6 of these repetitions. We've done 6, we'll switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A random one here. Okay, we're gonna work on our fingers, our wrists. So just bring each individual finger without flexing the rest of your knuckles. So try to keep those fingers straight. Okay, now bend each knuckle as you're bringing your finger forward or towards the middle. Take a fist, relax. Okay, now let's web your fingers out from each other. So we're here, and then web them out. All right, switch hands. So each finger to the center of your hand. Right, bend each knuckle, that you're bringing the fingers towards the center of your hand. With the fist, open them, fist, open, open. And web the fingers out. All right, we're pretty much done with our, besides our trunk rotation, we just have one more upper body. No worries, Kathleen. So let's go ahead and just gentle trunk rotation. Grab a hold of your backrest of your chair. Just gently, you don't want any pain. Just gentle turn. Switch. Left side. Back scratching post. So just leave a little gap between your legs. Reach up towards the ceiling. Pull all the way down and then come back. Okay. A little bit of water. Okay, here we go. Performance stretch. Right ankle on that left knee. Gentle push down on that knee. Just lean on it a little bit. Nothing crazy. Bring that knee to your chest. Just hug it out. Right. Performance. Switch. Left ankle on that right knee. Gentle push down on that knee. Hug it out. Bring that knee up. All right, we're gonna do our squats now, okay? Our chair squats. So for these, I think you folks remember how these go. So no hands, just our feet. We're gonna do 8, 8, and 8. Okay, so 8 of our regular squats, no hand support, and then we'll go single leg. All right, so ready? Again. One. Just make sure you don't have a rolling chair. You don't want that chair to roll away from you. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. Yeah. Right. Let's go with the right leg extended closer to you, or if you're more advanced, you could elevate it. Okay, so all the weight's gonna be on that left leg. Here we go. The right leg elevated. Okay, go. So, whoa, that was terrible. All right, let's just try that again. There we go. 1, 2. Yeah, so you got to be focused on these. If you're not really paying attention, you might topple over. So careful. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna switch. Ready. Left leg elevated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. All right, grab some water. Drinking. Um, a couple movements here. Bring that right leg close to your chest. Do some leg extensions here. All right, and then some single leg presses. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we'll switch. Left leg comes here. Ready? Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alrighty. We're gonna go ahead and do our calf raises. Heel raises. So elbows, you're here. Elbows up. Heels up and down. Okay. Okay, now toes. The toes come up, down. We're doing about 12 of these. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right, last one on our chair is going to be our ABC. So just trace the letters of the alphabet. H, I. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Pretty quiet class today.
So relaxing, that's why.
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know if you guys could hear I think they're doing some type of construction about a few houses down, so hopefully you don't hear it. I think my voice works out for this type of class, but I know my kids at practice, I put them to sleep. They're like, Coach, you're never excited. You're always sleepy. So, I think it works for this class. All right. Let's just actually work on our gripping our toes. So heels, legs are flat, and then just bring your toes towards your heels as you're scratching the floor. You can do that within your shoes if you have room, but if they're pretty snug, then I would do these, flat. Barefoot. All right, very good. Let's grab that foam roller, and we're gonna do our shoulder stretches. Then we'll finish off with a couple stretches on the floor. Realize we're 9:50 already. Appreciate everyone in here. So grab your foam roller, grab a little bit of water if you like. You're ready? Let's go ahead. And we'll just start gentle, left to right. Work on that left shoulder. Ready, cancel. Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 30 degrees forward. We'll go with 8 on these sets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 60 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 90 right in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, towards the back now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, very good. Right side. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 30 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 90, 60. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 90 right in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 towards the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 behind the back. Okay, so up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we're gonna lift towards the back. Whoop, that shoulder always pops on that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mhm. Awesome. All right, put this away. We'll end up with the last 5 minutes or so on the floor. So go ahead and grab your yoga mat. Almost done. We're just gonna rest on our elbows. Okay, just rest on your elbows here. Let's go ahead and put your hands where your elbows are. And we're gonna do a more impactful back extension here. Legs are flat. Make sure it's not painful. And from here, we're gonna bring our glutes to our heels, okay? So one motion. And you could relax your elbows down. Guys, okay? From here, we're gonna go cat-cow. So just make sure your wrists are right below your shoulders, your elbows, sorry, your knees right below your hips. Okay, from here we're gonna arch up, down, up, down. Repeat. We're gonna do our right here, our hip car. So this is where we're gonna lift our leg off to the side, kick out, lift, and reset. Okay. So we're doing 5 of those on each side. So remember, so pretty much like a fire hydrant, kick back, lift, reset. 5 of those. Five. Once you've done 5, switch legs. more. All right. All right, let's go ahead, get it in a sit-up position. Sit-up position. And we're just gonna do our knee drops. Okay, so knee drops, just remember your knees drop to the right and to the left. Just bring your knee, grab a hold of right below your knee, and that's dorsiflex. So just flex your foot back and forth. And switch. And repeat. Righty. Everyone, that should do it for today. Any questions before we head out? End this recording. Hey, Debbie.